welcome to my channel. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, and if you're new here, you're highly welcome. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to make a circle dress just like the one you see on the screen. Alright, how to draft the pattern, how to cut it, how to sew it all to the finishing level. So I urge you to please stay through, okay? Just stay and watch the video to the end. Alright, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Alright, let's dive into what we have today. Okay, so I'll teach you how to cut a circle dress with a halter neckline. Okay, but I'll first of all in this video show you how to cut a normal neckline with shoulder for this circle dress, and I'll also show you how to cut a halter neckline. But for this video, it's halter neckline that we're going to sew. Okay, but I will teach you how to cut. I won't go straight to show you how to cut halter neckline alone. Okay, so but I will show you how to cut both the shoulder in case you want to make a shoulder. So just you want to make the one with shoulder and another neckline apart from halter neckline. Okay, so just watch this video to the end. It's very detailed and simple. Okay, so this is the fabric I will be using. Alright, it's 3 yards. 3 yards will be enough for you. Okay, it will be okay for you. Then I'll be using this white doll face for combination to combine it. The down parts will be gathers. Okay, so I have my ruler and my scissors here. I have my tailor's chalk. That's the drafting kits that we'll be needing for this tutorial. Okay, so for these 3 yards of fabric, you fold it into 2 equal lengths. I've already folded it. Okay, you fold it from the negative side. This is the positive side. So you fold the 3 yards that you have, or the amount of fabric that you have for this video. But I would advise you to use 3 yards so that you won't have to join at the down part, since it's a short gown. It's just a short circle gown. Okay, so you fold your fabric into 2 equal lengths. Then once you folded it into 2 equal lengths like this, okay, it should be facing you. It should be facing you. Then once you folded it this way, this is the open part where you folded it, right? And the length is this way. Then from this tip here, you flip. Can you see what I'm doing? You flip to make a triangle shape or a cone shape. Okay, so you flip it as I'm doing so, and ensure that you dress it. You dress it very well. Okay, ensure that you dress it because it's going to have a zipper. Because it's going to have a zipper, we're going to leave 1 inch. You extend 1 inch by this side. You will not fold it. You will not flip this fold to the edge. Okay, so you end halfway. You extend it by 1 inch. So let me flip it again because I'm going to trim off this edge, or let me trim it off first, then flip it over. So now I've trimmed off this edge. Okay, I've trimmed off this edge. This is how smooth it is. Okay, so we'll go ahead to flip over from this point. All right, we'll flip, leaving 1 inch. Okay, this line I've already made it easier for myself. So leaving 1 inch for our zipper, where we're going to fix our zipper. Okay, so make sure that you dress it very well. Be patient. Okay, when you're drafting your pattern, try to be patient. Don't rush it because this is your base. If you get it wrong from the pattern drafting, you are going to mess up the whole thing when you're sewing it. Okay, so this is it. This is how it is. This is how it is. Then once you've succeeded in folding it this way, it's on 4 folds. Okay, this is the back panel that has the zipper that is extended by 1 inch. Okay, this is the back panel. This is the front panel that is on fold. There is a hole like this. It's not splitted. It's not open like the back panel that is like this. Okay, so what we are going to do next is you take your shoulder measurements first. That should be the first thing. You take your shoulder measurements. My shoulder measurement is 16. 16 divided by 2 give me 8. So you look for the place from this cone, from this part, you look for where your 8 is located. So this is where my 8 is located. Okay, my 8 inches is located. So I'll just mark it and use you can even follow through your tape. Okay, and mark it this way. So this is it, right? But you just have to be careful so that you don't have a slant, one-sided line when you are ruling your line. Okay, when you're squaring across, you just have to make sure that it's straight. It's not bended, or it's not slanted. Okay, it should just be straightforward. Then once you've taken your shoulder measurement, the next thing is to take your bust point. you understand? Or your bust length, okay? My bust point is 10 inches. Okay, my bust point is 10 inches. So I will go ahead to mark 10 inches, okay? I'll go ahead to mark 10 inches and square it out with my ruler. So my 10 inches is here. Okay, this is it. Okay, this is my bust point. Then the next thing, once you've taken out your bust point, you come to this side that is a hole, right? Not, remember, this place is the zipper, this is the back panel, this is the front panel, right? So the next thing you're going to do is you take your shoulder from the front panel. That's where you place your tape. Okay, not from the zipper, the place where you extended 1 inch. Do you understand? Then you, from here, just the same way you take your normal shoulder measurement. So you place your tape as so, mark, because this is a halter neckline, right? I will mark 2.5. It's supposed to be 3 inches, but I will mark 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches, so that by the time, for the actual fabric, by the time I finish sewing it, it will align to that 3 inches. And you know, halter neckline has a kind of turtleneck. It's not supposed to be wide. Okay, the neckline is not supposed to be wide. So I will take the 2.5 inches. Then for my shoulder, I will mark my shoulder. Okay, I will take my shoulder measurement, right, as I'm doing so. So from this shoulder here, I'll just come up a bit. Now what I'm showing you is the normal way to take your neckline. If you want your before we draft out the halter neckline, okay, before we take cut out or draft out the halter neckline, I just quickly want to show you how you can draft the one with shoulder, because with shoulder, yes, because halter neckline doesn't have shoulder, right? You just slant it from your armhole to the neckline, okay, cutting out to the shoulder. So for this one has a shoulder. So let me first of all show you how to cut the normal one before we go to the halter neckline. Hope you understand. So in this shoulder line, you just take your armhole. My armhole is 16. 16 divided by 2 is going to give me 8. So I'll come down here and mark my 8 inches, right? I'll mark my 8 inches. I'll mark my 8 inches. Now, please, I'll advise you to use your armhole. Okay, this is where my 8 inches is, and from this bust point is 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to square it across. The bust circumference should be from your armhole. That's where you take your measurements for your bust circumference, okay? Because if you take, you know, this is a cone, this is a triangle. Any inch that is below has a wider space, okay, let me put it that way, is wider than the upper part. So what you're going to do is to avoid having a tight dress on your bust. There are dresses, I don't know if you've seen it, there are dresses that some circle flay, that when you sew, you discover that the armpit is very tight, the bust area is very, very tight, whereas other side is very free. This is the reason why. So if you take your circumference exactly at your hip point, you might end up having a tight dress as the armhole. The armpit might be so tight, the bust area, it will now flatten your bust. So to avoid that, you come up where your shoulder, your chest line, which is your armhole, where you've taken your armhole, where it is, okay? So you now, this is where you now take your circumference. So now my bust circumference is 37. 37 divided by 4. Remember, where I'm taking my measurement is from the front panel, not from the back panel. So if you divide 37 by 4, it will give 9.25, which is 9.25, and it's right here. It's right here. So I will now take 2 inches for my sewing allowance, which is here. Okay, can you see the difference? I marked this place before even taking the shoulder, the chest line, or rather, okay. So this is where, can you see the difference here? This is inside and this one, than the upper one. So once you've taken note of your bust circumference, what you're going to do is you're just going to make your armhole curve. Okay, this part is very, very critical and essential. You can go ahead to use the normal way that you use to draft your armhole, okay, right? When you once you take the measurement of your shoulder, okay, you take the same measurement at the chest line to rule a straight line across to get your armhole curve, just the same way you do it for a normal, when you're sewing a normal basic bodice, okay, how you get your armhole, so that you have a defined shape and not have challenge, okay, fixing your sleeve. Say this is a halter neckline, and a halter neckline has a turtle neckline. Okay, it's like a turtle neckline for the round neck. It's like a turtle neckline. So now for the front panel, I'm going to come down by 3 inches, but I will mark 2.5 inches so that after sewing it, it will still land at that 3 inches. Do you understand? Then for the back panel, I will come down by 1 inch for the back panel. See, you can use your measurements. Okay,
sorry about the background noise. Okay, please bear with me. Thank you.
so from the back panel here, I just came down by 1 inch. I came down by 1 inch. Okay, then for the front panel is 2.5 inches for the front panel. So I'm going to curve it as so, as I've done so. Keep trying to make it. So I'm trying to make sure that I get a good curve so that it will not affect me when I'm sewing it. Okay, so this is it. Alright, so what we are going to do is we are going to cut. I'm going to cut this out to show you how. Okay, so but before then, let's now take our full length from the shoulder this way. I will take my full length. I will take my full length where the gathers is going to start. Okay, where the gathers is going to start is 33. It will end at 33. My full length is 41 inches. My full length is 41 inches, but where the gather is going to start is 33 inches. Sorry, my full length is 40 inches. Where the gather is going to start is 33 inches. Okay, so I will mark 33 inches all the way round as I'm doing so. Please, I'm just going to mark it all the way. Alright, so this is where this line here is where the gathers is going to start. Okay, so let's cut. First of all, cut the shoulder. This is like this. Then come over to the angle. Make sure that you get that curve. Okay, so you can just slant it a bit. At this shoulder line, you can just slant it a bit. Just a little bit to give you that slanted shoulder. Then you come to the neckline and mark and cut it. You first of all cut for the back panel, which is 1 inch. Then for the front panel, which is this one, just raise it up and cut. Okay, this one I've already drafted out is for the normal circle dress with shoulder. So now for the halter neckline, we're going to remove the shoulder. It doesn't have shoulder, it's only the neckline. Okay, so we are going to slant it from this neckline here. We are going to just slant it all the way. You see that? All the way. Do you understand? Removing this part, removing this part. I hope you can see the chalk here. Slant it all the way. You see how it is? Can you see that? So this is for the halter neckline. So I'll just make a slant it downwards. Okay, just a slant. Because I have enough space here, I'm just going to use my ruler to slant it. You know, this is a circle skirt, a circle gown rather. So from this, from my allowance, I'm just going to rule a line across, down like this, slant it downwards like this. But if you don't have enough allowance, okay, if you don't have, after you might have taken your allowance, if you don't have enough allowance, you're just going to leave it that way and open it up this way. Okay, but this is it for the front panel. Then this is it for the back panel. Okay, first of all, how we are going to start is we start with the armhole. Okay, So there are different ways you can sew this armhole.
So let's
you
go over to
pipe
the
it
sewing
in with your
machine
bias,
and sew.
okay, you can use your bias to trim it or pipe it, as you choose to call it. Then you can use the fabric to also pipe it, okay, trim it. You can fold it in as what I'm going to do, okay, for this armhole. I'm just going to fold it in. I'm not going to use bias or any matching bias, okay. You can use to just fold it in as I'm doing so. So that's what I'm going to do. Then if I want to pipe it in with my bias, use a matching bias or the one that will match with the combination that you're using, okay. So I'm just going to pipe it in or fold it the way that I just did to sew. Fold it in again, fold it in like this, then fold it in again like so. So whichever way that you choose to sew to trim yours, the armhole, is totally up to you. This is how it is, this slanted. You see how pointy it is this way, but this place is going to be bold. So once it's getting towards the cuff side, you try to make it to be pointy as so. So then we'll come over to this side and sew it. That's how we'll do it, both for the front panel and the back panel. So let's do it and I will show you. So I'm done sewing it. This is how it is. So I'm just going to cut out this excess here this way. I'm going to cut out this excess this way, okay. So this is it, right? Then let's trim the armhole of the back panel. Okay, then we'll come to this side. The armhole for the back panel. So this is the back panel. Let's trim it. So let me trim it and show you. Just the same way that we did for the front panel, that's the same way you do for the back panel. Okay, before we fix the neckline, what we'll do is we are going to join the back panel together. Okay, I'm done trimming the armhole. So we're going to join the back panel together where the zipper, we are going to fix our zipper. The positive side facing the positive side of the back panel, okay. So this is the armhole which I have already trimmed, right? So this is the zipper, the side of the zipper. Remember that 1 inch that we extended, okay, for the zipper. So I'm just going to sew it and stop where my zipper is going to end, right? Where my zipper is going to end. So everything is aligned from the tip, from the base. I'll sew it, removing that 1 inch. So I've sewn it from the base, okay. I've sewed it all the way and I stopped this place for the zipper. You see how it is? This is how it is, okay, for the back panel. This is how it is for the back panel. So what we are going to do next is we are going to fix our neckline band, okay. And what we'll do is we are going to measure. You measure your neckline round, then measure the neckline of the back panel, okay. You measure your neckline round, then so once you've taken the neckline, the round neck, okay, you've measured the round neck, you come to this front, okay. For the front panel, you fold the neckline into 2 as I've done so. Then notch to take the center, okay. So this is my band, my neck band, okay, which I have already drafted out. Is it's just one quarter, okay, one quarter. So it can be 1 inch for you, 1 inch rather for you. It can be 1 inch for you, okay. It can be 2 inches for you, but highest it should be 2 inches. It should not be above 2 inches, okay. So I just want it to be this one quarter is okay for me, okay. So I will fold it, and the length, to be on the safe side, there are 2 ways you can fix the neck band. You can fix it in such a way it will have zipper. You fix the zipper from the neckline, okay, from this turtle neckline. You can just put your either hook or button on top. So the length of this is 20. I just want to be on the safe side, right? I'm not going to join anything. You just trim off this roughness here. I will trim it off. After trimming, fold into 2 to take the midpoint. Okay, this is how I normally, if you have been watching my videos, you know that I first of all fold and iron, hold my band, fold it into 2 and hold it, secure it with my hemming gum so that it will be smooth and easy for me to fix, okay. I won't have to sew first, turn over and sew again, no. I just fix everything at once and place it at once for ease, okay, and neatness. Okay, so I've already done that. I just took a ½ inch, I fold in ½ inch and used my hemming gum to hold it like this. As you can see, I hope you can see what I did here. The reflection of the light is not too, you know, not too bright for you not to see. So you fold it into two, and mark the midpoint. I'm not going to notch so that it doesn't become rough for me. So you notch the midpoint, rather you note the midpoint with your chalk. Then now match it with the front panel of your dress. Okay, you slot it in as so. First of all, you can go ahead to use your pin to secure it round. Secure it, just hold it as so. But I would advise you first of all hold it with your pin first, round it before you start sewing. Okay, trying to make, okay, take note of the midpoint. So I'm doing everything together. So this is the midpoint. So I'll use my pin to hold it. So here I noticed that it's going to be too tight on me. It's going to choke my neck. Okay, it's too small. After measuring the round neck, I discovered that it's too small for my own round neck. Okay, so I'm going to reduce it by ½ inch. So I'll just reduce it from this edge, from the shoulder side, not really the shoulder side, from this apex, okay, from this tip here. I'm just going to reduce it as so. Reduce it round. So I already know what ½ inch is. Okay, I've reduced it. I believe this will be okay. So we'll go ahead to take note of the center and notch it for this front panel. Then I've already described how I made this band. Okay, it's just 1/4 by width, then 20 inches by length, because I want to be safe. That's why I made it 20 inches. You can make yours 7, you can make yours 17 or 16 or 15, depending what your round neck is. Okay, the measurement of your round neck is. So I will take note of the midpoint by folding this fabric into two, then and note it with my chalk. I've already marked it. Then I'll fix it, matching it together. You first of all use your pin to secure it, to hold it. Okay, so you should pay attention to this neckline because it's somehow technical. Though it's easy, but it's technical. So you just need to be calm and do it so that you get it perfect without having issues. Okay, so once you notice that your neckline is tight, it's going to be tight either on you or your neck or your model or whoever that you're making the dress for, you reduce it before fixing this band. Okay, before fixing your band. So I will ensure that I match this midpoint of the band together with where I notched the midpoints of the fabric, okay, for the front panel. So I will match it and use my pin to secure it. You'll be slotting it in just by ½ inch, 0.5 inch, okay, 0.5 inch. So now how do you after securing your pin, using your pin to secure the front, okay, for the front neckline, what you do, how you fix the back neckline to it. You know this thing does not have shoulder. So how you're going to fix it is, you see this side, one side, you know this back panel is joined together, right? It's joined together like this. So now you match the armhole, that's the positive side of the back panel, one side of it, with, you join it, you bring it close, very close to the front panel as I'm doing so. This is it. This is the armhole for the back panel. This is the armhole for the front panel. Then the positive side of it, you just match it closely as I'm doing. Let me bring it close so that you see it. You see this place, you match it, you make sure that you match it closely. You see, make sure that it's meeting together. Just closely to each other, like this. Then you close it up. this is how it should be. You see, this is how it should be. Then you use your pin to hold it. You see, so you hold it all the way. Then you now bring this side, this other side, and come to this side and match it. See, positive side facing the other positive side. So you slot it in to meet the front panel of this one. Fix it in as so and close it up. And that's why I advise that you first of all use your hemming gum so that it will be easy for you. First of all, use your hemming gum to hold it. Just fold it in by ½ inch and use your hemming gum to secure it, to lay it flat, so that it will be easy for you to fix as I'm doing so. Then after fixing, you can now have a neat finishing. Do you understand? So you now, once you slot it in, you ensure that they are equal in the inside. Okay, so ensure that they are equal. Then use your pin to hold it, close it up and hold it with your pin. Please don't give any gap. Don't give any gap. So this is it. You can go ahead to, once you are done pinning, before you sew, once you are done pinning, before you sew, you measure again to know if it's also your neckline, okay? If it's equivalent to your neckline. If it's shorter than your neckline, then you might just need to remove it and reduce it again. Do you understand? Before you start sewing, before you start stitching on it. So it's exactly my neckline, okay? It's exactly my round neck, okay? The measurement is exactly my round measurement. So I'll go ahead to stitch on it round. I'll go ahead to stitch on it, starting from this place, stitch on it all the way round, okay?
After fixing the neckband, the next thing you do is you fix your zipper, okay? So we'll go ahead to fix our zippers. This is how the neckline is, very neat, smooth, easy to fix, okay?
Okay, this is the front. So ensure that you use a matching thread. This is the back, very beautiful. So what we are going to do is we are going to fix our zipper, okay, before shaping it. So I'll cut off this excess. There are two ways you can fix this band, okay, the back band. It's either you use zip, okay, or you use button to hold the band, okay. So this place I cut out, the excess is something that it's going to overlap on this one, okay, if you are using button. But I'm going to use zipper, okay. It's going to run from the band, okay, from the neck band. So I'm just going to fold it this way. For beginners, once you get to this point, you know you already have 1 inch for zipper, right? You're just going to fold it in like this, fold it all the way, following the line, okay, from where you've already sewn. Just follow it and place your zip like this. Place it on top, place the fabric on top and sew it straight down. Then when you get to this point, you just turn over and sew.
That's another method you can use to sew the zip.
Okay, as a beginner, that's how you just sew it and run it. But that's not the one I'm going to use. So I'm just going to use this other one. I'm just going to place my zip this way. Okay, I'm going to take it off a little. So I will now follow this line just the way it is. You see this space? So I'm just going to sew closely. Remember how I fixed, I'm placing this zip. Just watch closely, I'm placing this zip. The positive side of the zip will face the positive side of the fabric like this. You turn it over. It's like sewing on the negative side, okay? Then you place and sew. I like sewing this type of zipper, okay? I like fixing my zipper this way because after sewing, the stitching does not show on the front side, okay? The positive side. So once I get to the place where the joint is, I'm just going to stitch right away, then bring it out and see how it is. See, so the stitches is not showing on it, but if it's the other method, it's going to, the stitches will show on it. So after sewing this side, what you're going to do is you turn over. This is how the back side will look like. You turn it over. From the negative side, this is how it is. See how you sewed it, how I sewed it rather. This is how I sewed it, and it's going to run this way, and I'll place this one like this. So after using your pin to secure it, this is how it will look, okay? Then you now sew. Go ahead to sew as I'm doing so. So I finished sewing on it. This is how it is, okay? Make sure that the band is equal, right? Make sure that the band is equal. One side is not greater, is not bigger than the other. So once you are done, you now fold it in like so and stitch on it. See the way I placed it, stitch on it. It's not going to show once you turn it this way. So you just, from the negative side here, you just bring down the excess and stitch on it. Don't cut it out. Just stitch on it. Then when you turn it over, it's not going to show. So that is how to go about it. That's how to fix your zipper. Okay, I'm done fixing the zip. This is how it is, right? Then the next thing is to shape. So we are going to shape, but I will first of all take my armhole, okay? Because I don't want it to be too tight. I don't want it to be too loose. You know this is sleeveless, right? And you're not going to put sleeve, except if you're going to put sleeve. But this one is not going to have sleeve, so it's not good that it will be open or it will be loose, the armpit to be loose. Don't allow the armhole to be loose. So if it's not going to have sleeve, okay? So this video is not going to have sleeve, it's just going to be sleeveless. So I will make sure that I take my exact armhole, okay? My armhole is 8 inches. It's 8 inches, so I'm going to just mark it. That's where I will start shaping. So it's not going to be loose. So from here now, I will shape, slanting it. You know we took 2 inches, just the same way, the way I'm doing it. So I'm just going to shape it all the way by the side. You know this is a free gown, so it doesn't really need you to start measuring up and down. What you just need to do is align everything as slants. So after shaping, the next thing you're going to do is going to take the measurements of this down part from this place you join from the back panel. So you measure it round to note the measurements, so that you will know the measurement of your gathers, how you're going to fix the gathers, okay? So you take the measurements round, so I'm doing so. Okay, I've measured round and it's 3 yards and 28 inches. Okay, 3 yards and 28 inches. So this is the material I'll be using for the gathers. Okay, this is 8 yards by length and 9 inches. Okay, 9 inches by width. So there's another way. If you don't want to make your gathers, you can print. Okay, as you're sewing, you're printing on it round. Okay, but me, I just want to make gathers so that it will be full or fuller, okay? So, and the amount of fabric that you're using for your gathers also determines how full the gathers is going to be, okay? So I just want my gathers to be very full, all right? So that's why I'm using 8 yards by length. You can see how big it is, okay? You know, I did not get the dress, the second dress I've already made is 34, okay? 34, it's 33 rather. Is 33. So if I remove that 33 here, if I remove that 33 and place it, my full length is 40 inches. So this is 40 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance is 42. Okay, or hemming allowance rather is 42. So I'll just go ahead to fold it in and gather it.
When you're sewing, you don't stitch, you don't top stitch, okay? You just run loose stitches across, okay, to enable you gather it, okay? So when you are gathering it, you pick one thread from the 2 threads that you used to sew, okay, and start gathering it as I'm doing so, all the way to the amount of gathers according to your measurements. Do you understand? So once you pick that one thread, it's just one thread. If you top stitch on it before sewing, you won't be able to gather. So you just run loose stitches across, pick one thread and gather it according to your measurements as I've done so. You see how gathered it is. the shape has just changed totally. This is how to gather it. So let it be equal to the measurement of your down part and now fix it. So let me show you how to fix it. Okay, join it to your fabric and that is it. It's not that hard. This is even a way to sew gather skirt. Okay, once you measure up the length of your gathers of your skirt, you just gather it this way and put your band and zipper, and that will be it. So let me show you how to fix it on your dress. Okay, so just watch closely how I'm placing it. Okay, the positive side of your gathers will face the positive side of your dress. Okay, once you just place it as so, you see how I'm placing it. Okay, just watch closely. Then you now sew it all the way round, and when you're sewing it, ensure that you dress it, that you're dressing it very well. Okay, you're dressing it very well. Sew it all the way around it, and once you are done sewing it all the way around it, then you now close it up. So let's sew and I will show you how you can close it up. So I'm done sewing it. We'll close it up. This is how beautiful it is. Okay, this is the front side. Don't mind all these fibers, I will brush them out. Okay, so when you're sewing gathers, especially when you have a material that is fraying a lot, ensure that you cut it out. Okay, so this is how we are going to close up. Once you get to the point where you know that the space is remaining small, then you now put the both ends of your gathers together as I'm doing. So join them together, positive side facing positive side, and stitch it. Okay, sew it all the way from the top, the down part of it. Then after you are done sewing it from the top to the down part of it, then you now place it as so. So once you are done closing up and you've trimmed off the excesses, you now close it up. Okay, as I'm doing so. So the remaining part that is not closed up, you now close it up after stitching together, just as I'm doing so. The remaining gathers, you just close it up from that point, and that is it for the skirt, for the gown rather. All right, so this gown came out very beautiful and decent, especially at the armhole side. The armhole side was not revealing. So can you see how beautiful it is? Ensure that you cut off the excesses, the roughness, the fiber, everything. Okay, every unwanted fiber and all that. Make sure that you trim it off. See how beautiful it is looking. So that is it for this video. Then the next thing is to trim the hemming. All right, just hem it, trim it by folding it into two as I'm doing so, and hold it all the way around. Trim it all the way around. All right, and that is it for this video. Then after trimming the hemming or hemming it off, the next thing you're going to do is to make your belt for people that want belt. Okay, so this is 3 inches for the belt by width, 3 inches by width for the belt. Then the length should now be according to your own measurements. My own length, I used 3 yards, I think, yes, or 2.5 yards. Okay, I used 2.5 yards for the length. I like long belts. So you can use your own measurements. Okay, the length is totally up to you. So after sewing it, you hold it together as I'm doing it. Fold it into two from the negative side, fold it and sew it all the way. After sewing it all the way, you trim off the excesses and now use your safety pin. Okay, you use your safety pin to turn it over as I'm doing so. Okay, then you now stitch the both ends. Okay, then iron it. Once you're done closing up the both ends, you now iron it to lay it flat, and that is it for this video. Okay, so this is how beautiful it's looking. Very neat. The gathers is very full. Then the ankle is not revealing, very decent.